You know what I do? No, you know how I do. I just do me. I just do me. I be getting that money. They know me for moving that tree.
What's up, world and TYS family? Y'all already know what it is, man. This your boy Ty, TY, the Lone Star Chef, whatever you want to call me, or whatever it is, you already know what I'm here to do, man. I'm here to talk my... Yeah, I know I be bull crapping. I be on that bull crap. But I need to go ahead and stop playing, man. Stay a little consistent so I can get up out of my mama's basement, you heard? Yeah, man, I'm trying to get up out of my mama's basement. Yeah, man. I keep playing. Yeah, man, but I'm still looking for those subscribers, man. I said we still looking for those subscribers, man. Where you at? I said, where you at? I'm looking for you. I said, I'm looking for you. What are you waiting for? I said, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Hit that button. Hit that button. Got a little treat for you. So I got a little treat for you. Soon as we hit the 200 subscribers, man. Somebody getting $200. I ain't taking too long, man. Where y'all at?
Get money, get money. 24/7, I'm grinding, I'm getting money.
Show your boys some love. Show your boys some support, man. We here, baby. I said we here, baby. Yeah, man. But tonight I got a treat for you. And no, it ain't the guys, man. The guys left me hanging, man. But you know what? Don't know one monkey stop a show. That's what I was always taught. I said, don't know one monkey stop a show. That's what I was always taught. So we gonna keep this thing going. I said, we gonna keep this thing going, yeah, man. Before we go ahead and tee off, I said, before we go ahead and tee off on that coon Stephen H. Smith with all his coonery, his buffoonery, yeah, man. Because the way you gonna do main man Shannon, your co-host, somebody you had a real relationship with, the way you did that, man, and tried to throw that man up under the bus, you know what I'm saying? And then try to recover, it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But before we tee off on that coon, yeah, man, and then he always talking about he doing it for the brothers. He doing it for the brothers. All you care about is them people over there at ESPN and your listeners, man. You don't care about no brothers. So stop all that fake brotherly love, man. Stop all that fake brotherly love, man. You know what I mean? But somebody, Kondo is trying to sue the NFL for emotional distress. Yeah, man, we gonna applaud that brother. We don't know who he is, but it says it's somebody based out of Atlanta. Somebody based out of Atlanta is trying to sue the NFL for $100 million for emotional distress because of Shador Sanders' low draft pick, you know? Shador, was one of the most talked about prospects of the draft. And for him to fall so low in the draft, everybody, the whole America, like when you got the president coming out saying something, like, it's a big deal. And and that could have been all a money thing or whatever the case. But it's a big deal when you got the president coming out and saying something about it. You know what I mean? But they did main man dirty, So the lawsuit says he suffered emotional distress and trauma as a fan and a consumer because the 23-year-old phenom wasn't selected earlier. It was immediate frustration. The fan who filed the federal lawsuit as John Doe told the Independent the condition his real name not be published. This guy was projected to be first or second pick, no later than top 5. And to watch mediocre players be chosen before him, it was frustrating. I agree. For Cam Ward to be chosen before him, I get it. But all them other quarterbacks, come on. And to have all the NFL owners collude and not draft him, it was mentally frustrating. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I got distracted. But and to have all the NFL owners collude and not draft him, it was mentally frustrating and debilitating. Doe, who said he has no personal connection to Sanders, went on. For them, For them to believe that they can just do that and there's no recourse, it has to stop. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I'm gonna tell you some things about this lawsuit, and maybe you got some other information that we don't. But the Cleveland Browns ultimately picked up Sanders, a standout player at the University of Colorado, and the son of NFL legend and current Colorado head coach Deion Sanders. 44th overall on the third day of last month's pro draft. Multiple reports blame Sanders allegedly vaingloriously. My bad. Multiple reports blame Sanders' allegedly vainglorious attitude during the pre-draft process as a major reason for his regrettable showing. One of the NFL front office execs told NBC Sports that the pro hopeful behaved as he was being recruited, not as he was being interviewed for a roster spot. As for Doe collusion allegations, the, the notion has already been shot down by NFL Hall of Famer Chris Carter. Just because Chris Carter shot it down don't mean that it's not true. So to slide that one in there doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen, right? Who said last week on the Art of Dialogue podcast that Sanders and his famous dad overplayed their hand. Again, while that might be true, just because Chris Carter said it doesn't mean that it's true, right? Some fans have suggested owners agreed not to draft Sanders as a way to punish him for his dad's intense messaging and hype around the quarterback. Again, and he came out and said, what game was that? Was it before the Super Bowl or whatever like that? At the end of the day, if Archie Manning or somebody would have did the same thing and wouldn't have been no problem. Don't be upset. Don't be mad at a present father and wanting the best for his son, right? He want the best situation for his son. And he ultimately stepped back and said, you know what? They're going to leave it in God's hands. The only thing that his son want to do is be drafted higher than his dad. You know what I'm saying? But we can go on. Who owns a small logistic company in Atlanta area is representing himself in court. He said on Monday that he used... so main man owned a logistic company, and he's trying to, keep all his company information and everything private and all that, right? So, all right, we know this not like a suit, or attempt to, bring awareness to his company or anything. But all in all, those saying that he was a fan of Colorado and he, paid attention to Shador, his 2 years that he was there, and he's seen the impact that Shador had and it caused him emotional distress and everything, and he's trying to sue them for $100 million, right? Now, unless you got hard, concrete evidence to show that, that the NFL owners colluded to, really like not get this boy drafted, then, this lawsuit is definitely going to get thrown out. The good thing is, maybe it will open their eyes up and maybe they stop. Going forward, they take this process a little more serious because this is somebody's future, right? This is somebody's future, and he needed to do this, right? He could have done anything that he wanted to, or he could have just sat back and played the background, because his father is well off. But he put in work, right? He got out there and really put in work to become who he is. He still has room to grow, and he's still working, right? So it's not like he expects something to be given to him, right? I do admit, the cockiness and all that that gets you nowhere. Look at the Cam Newtons and the Ocho Cincos and the Randy Mosses and the T.O.s and all that. Like, it gets you nowhere. But at the same time, right, he's not a Johnny Manziel, right? Look at all the hype that was around Johnny and what Johnny came in and did, right? So at the end of the day, I feel like, regardless of what his dad said and what, regardless of the attention that comes with them, this kid works, right? And he showed that because given who his dad was, or given who his dad is, and who his family is, and the things that they put out, didn't necessarily have to, go to the NFL, right? Obviously, it's something that he really wanted to do. So, with that being said, you should have, you know, look past all that. And I can wholeheartedly say, I believe that if Dallas didn't have Dak Prescott, I believe Dallas would have took the chance on him, because that's what Dallas does, right? We take the chance on we take the what's the right way to, we take the chance on the high risk choices, what's his name, Greg Hardy, when he came back to the NFL, and the first openly gay NFL player, and Pac-Man Jones. Like, Cowboys take chances, right? So I honestly believe if Dak Prescott didn't just sign his massive deal and Cowboys was in need of a quarterback, I believe they would have took a chance at Shador. But to draft Shador and then you have Dak, and to draft him that high, and then you're not going to immediately use him and to have to pay him all this money, I don't think that would have been like the smart choice. But again, it was plenty of teams that could have used quarterbacks, like the Giants and all of them. Like, they could have used quarterbacks, right? So I do believe, I don't know if, the owners was working together, or, just his whole attitude throughout the draft process, if that played a part, or they just didn't want what comes with him and his father and all them, because Colorado games was like a concert, you know what I mean? So, like, and not to say that you're gonna come to the NFL with that same energy, and given who your dad is, like, he definitely was, the life anywhere he went, any team that he went when he was in the NFL and all that. So, that's, he got the name Prime Time for a reason, right? So, but I think he should have had that opportunity or that chance to prove himself, and not put that stain on his record. But a fall into, no, I think it was the 5th round or something. Well, all in all, the 4th pick, right? Instead of having that stain on his record, I think it was the 5th round that he fell to. But I ultimately think somebody should have gave him his shot. I mean, he definitely one of the higher prospects. For him to fall when he fell, I could get how that could be stressful to somebody, but you have no like ties with the family, right? So you couldn't have been as stressed as they were. So, you being a fan and all that, and being that emotionally invested in it, I don't think, like, again, unless you can, like, prove this, I believe this lawsuit gonna get thrown right out the door. But it was a good shot, though. It's a good shot. It's a good attempt to let them know, like, yo, y'all shouldn't be doing this, right? I applaud you for it, though. I definitely applaud you for it, because the NFL shouldn't be playing these type of games, right? They definitely shouldn't be playing these type of games. So we'll see what happens. I highly doubt if you get paid 1 red cent, but we'll keep up on it to see what happens. And in other news, right? In other news, Stephen A. Smith. If I wasn't worried about my kids and all them seeing this, and my church folks and everything, I can't really say God, because God already know what I'm thinking, right? I don't even know, like, are where you are right now. It is more, white folks in America than it is black folks, and they probably support you the most. But I think Stephen A. Black card needs to be revoked, right? Because for the life of me, I don't understand how you can, stand and take a stand and support whatever case is happening with Jay-Z. But when it comes to your own brother, somebody you have a direct connection with, somebody who you work with, right? Somebody who you see and talk to more than Jay-Z, allegedly.
Knowing that audio was probably going to come out along with additional tapes, whether they be video or audio is unclear at this particular moment in time, Shannon Sharpe felt compelled to come out in his own defense. In my perfect world, he moves on. And somehow, some way, we find this all to be false. But it doesn't seem like that's the way things are about to go down, considering who Mr. Busby is.
You helped this man get into Fox or ESPN, but yet whatever. I don't watch none of y'all no more, honestly, because I'd rather go watch YouTube, for my sports news. People like Attack on Cowboys or Law Nation or something like that, because they add more substance than First Take, right? It seems like, and I might be a little biased because y'all hate so much on the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. So, of course, why would I want to see that? But for you to hate on your own brethren, right? For you to hate on your own brother, and you quickly, and Shannon, if you still talking to, if this dude better be blocked from your phone, right? He better be blocked from your phone right now, right? Like, I hope soon as you seen this, you went right inside that man purse and you went to Stephen A. name, saved the donkey under his contact name, changed it from Stephen A. Smith and just put a donkey emoji as his name and blocked him from you being able to contact him. Like, I hope after seeing that episode or whatever his show is, and then for the news to drop, and for you to run and be one of the first ones to try to report on it and throw your brethren under the bus, like, and show what side that you standing with. You show that you standing with ESPN side. You showed that that's who you standing with, right? That's crazy to me, right? That's crazy to me. I was just watching a No Jumper podcast. Is a kid here in Philadelphia. His name was Noah Scurry, and they claim that he was a rapper named Joker OTV or whatever, and his Joker character wore a mask. So when the kid went on No Jumper, the No Jumper tried to get him to say that Noah Scurry and his Joker character was one and the same people. And for the kid to take a 16-year-old kid, like, he understood the assignment at 16 years old, right? I'm going to protect my brother. You ain't going to get me to throw my brother under the bus, right? Because if he wore this mask and everybody is assuming that this person was this person, like, but, the world don't know for sure. Like, those that was close to him know, but the world don't know for sure if they was one and the same. But all in all, he didn't throw his brethren under the bus.
Where'd that idea even come from? Because he's like a basketball superstar, right? So how'd you guys decide like that he wanted to get into rapping?
I did a vid with Joker, bro.
Uh-huh. So you're saying that's not the same person as Noah?
I did a vid with Joker, bro. I don't know Joker from playing ball and shit, bro. I knew Joker just did a vid with Joker,
Just on
bro.
some rap shit.
Bro, but yeah, it was some rap shit. I ain't even ever see Joker. I don't even know who under the mask, bro. Did a vid with Joker, bro. So every time I seen him, he always had that mask on, bro. No bullshit.
He protected his brethren identity, right? And, he didn't destroy the image of his brother. Yet you being as old as dirt, walking with Jesus, I was about to just go off the deep end right there. But for you to be as old as you are and know, like, not to throw your, for what? Some views, right? For what? To be the first first one to break on the story. And guess what? You could have still talked about the situation and still save face for your brother. But no, you want to talk about the way it's looking that you don't know if it's going to end up like this when you got as much details as we got, right? Unless you know some undercover stuff that we don't know, maybe from Shannon telling you some things or something. You got some information that we don't know, but yet you just ready to throw this man under the bus. It don't look like this man ain't even been to court yet. He ain't even been to court yet. But when he comes out to defend himself, you got an issue with that. And instead of standing by your brother, you throw your brother under the bus and then show I'm standing with ESPN. You know, I ain't got no control over that. I can't even blah blah blah. But the way you talk on your show, like you the man, like ESPN needs you or something, like beyond ridiculous to me. You gotta stop your cooner. You gotta stop your cooner, right? You do it to the black NFL players. You do it to the black NBA players. And now you're doing it to your own co-worker. He got to be stopped. He got to be stopped. And this is what I honestly like. You didn't like how Shannon was just slowly rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. And you probably was happy that this moment presented itself. Because guess what? Your Kermit the Frog looking self was about to be a thing of the past, right? And you seen how much love Shannon was getting and how this boy and became self-made, right? He became bigger than Skip Bayless. So guess who was next? That's right. He was gonna become bigger than a Stephen A. So I feel like you was happy this opportunity presented itself because it's gonna push him back a few levels. And I'm gonna pray that Shannon come about this. I'm gonna pray that this is just a money grab, clout chasing individual. That Shannon Sharp come back full force, and this makes him stronger, and he take your spot because this is beyond ridiculous. You protect your brother, you coon, clout chasing Kermit the Frog, man. You know what? Let me see, cause that's crazy, man. You gotta be stopped. You gotta be stopped. But Shannon, even though your own brethren ain't with you, the rest of the world is, man. We see how they trying to set you up, man. We see how they trying to come for you. Yeah, man, we see it. We see it. You know, I'm not gonna get into it. You know, but they never mind. We ain't even gonna get into the conspiracies and all that. But we see it though, Shannon, and we standing with you. Even though you should have peeped the blitz. You should have seen the setup, right? You too old to not, especially knowing the position that you in. The seat that you sit in, you should have known she was lining you up, right? You should have known. You shouldn't have been talking in no text message. If you was going to do that, you should have Snapchatted it. You should have did it on Snapchat. So at least you would have known if the messages was getting screenshot. So if you wasn't sure if she was lining you up, at least you could have had an idea at that point. Like, why she screenshotting these messages? You know what I'm saying? Something. Like, but you don't talk crazy in no messages. Anything that can get reversed and misconstrued and looked at, made you looked at in a different type light, you don't send those in no text messages. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't even have those conversations over the phone. Right? You don't even have those conversations over the phone. Because she can be recorded. You don't do that. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? When you touching those type of papers, when you touching that type of paper, you know, it's people out here that this is their job. To find successful men and extort them. This is their job, right? This is their job. And you gotta understand that, right? So you gotta protect yourself. This is why anytime you get in that type of world, like the girls that I'm dealing with, you either gonna be on the same level or better level, I'm dealing with somebody of my past, somebody that I came in with. Something. It's not gonna be no newbie, and it ain't gonna be no Instagram model. Why? Interior motive, man. Like, we can't have that. We can't have that. Like, hopefully my man come up out of this. We gonna send a prayer for you, my brother. We gonna send a prayer for you, and I hope you see the light at the tunnel, my brother, without having to come off a dime. I mean, from my understanding, you already offered the money, and she ain't want to take that. She wanted to come for half of your $100 million. Just even saying that, like, it lets you know, like, something bigger is at stake here, right? Is at stake here. Because, which I think she was like 19 or something like that. I think she is like 19 or something. And for you to offer a 19-year-old, 10 million, right? That's a lot of change. Most 19-year-olds gonna take that. So it's somebody that's pushing this whole situation. I don't know if you offered her the 10 million prior to her speaking to attorney, or if you offered her the 10 million after the attorneys became involved, because then it could possibly be the attorney that's making her kind of move in this direction, right? They like, you're going to take that when he about to come up on this, and he got this, and he got that, and all this, and futures, all of that they take in consideration when they going ahead and process these lawsuits. But lost what I was trying to say. I done lost it, man. We just going to pray for Shannon, brother. We're going to pray for Shannon because we already know this a money grab. We know what they trying to do. We know what they try to do to the black men in America. This is why, brothers, if you heading in the direction, make sure you ain't got no dirt, or make sure you clean up all your dirt, and make sure going forward you walking holy. Because I know things can come from out of the woodwork and all this. I get that. Limit your damage as much as possible. If you ain't on the road to nowhere, then I don't think you need to worry about it. But if you're trying to, be a rapper, you trying to be a basketball player, you trying to be this and trying to be that, like, cover your tracks. Cover your tracks. Not to say cover your tracks, meaning if you do something, I mean, if something shady happened in your past, make things right. Clean it up. You know what I mean? Don't wait until you get to that top spot and let it come back around and bite you on the butt. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for rocking with your boy. And if you didn't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Drop that comment. Let's talk in the comments. How y'all feel about the lawsuit with Shador? But how y'all feel about the band making a lawsuit about Shador? How y'all feel about Shannon Sharp and the Stephen A. Smith situation? Y'all feel like Stephen A. on some cool stuff? Do y'all feel like Shannon really out here, essaying women and all that? Let us know down in those comment sections, man. And we still looking for those subscribers, man. We still looking for those subscribers. I got $200. On the next stream, I'm gonna show y'all the money. Yeah, man. And this is what I'm doing. I'm putting away a certain amount of money every week. Every week I'm putting away a certain amount of money just so I can reward my subscribers, because I do realize without y'all there is no us. So I want to give back, right? I want to give. Y'all have to play y'all part as well, right? Y'all have to play y'all part as well. All your name could be the one that get pulled out of that hat. And guess what? It could be on a day that you really, 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 really need it. It could be on a day you really need it and you ain't got no money. So let's make this thing happen. Y'all have a good night. When one of those videos pop up at the bottom somewhere, make sure y'all click on it, man. Stay in touch. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
You know what I do? No, you know how I do. I just do me. I just do me. I be getting that money. They know me for moving that tree. I just do me. If you down with the team, it's like this. We gon' make sure you eat. I just do me, I just trap and get money. You broke, you got nothing on me. I just do me, I just stick to the script. Get money, that's me. I just do me, I be trapping all day. Take account for that money, then breathe. I just do me, so I stay with my strap, cause I'm always running these streets. I just do me.